How's it going? My name is Mark Henley LeBon, and my primary source project focuses on the depiction of African Americans in early 20th century entertainment. All right, so the first thing we're going to get into is the historical context of my sources. So, in the early 20th century, all forms of entertainment boomed due to the increase in leisure time, and wealth, along with new technology. Although this was a good thing, this gave white Americans another platform to stereotype African Americans. These newly used forms of entertainment were used to paint a negative image of African Americans that we can see in characters such as Jim Crow, Sambo, and Mammy. All right, so now in this slide, we can see one of these characters that I just mentioned in the other slide, Mammy. She's been used in several movies and Negro minstrels. In this picture on the right, it's actually from Gone with the Wind, the movie. Now, Mammy, she would be described as a masculine, obese woman. And in one of my sources, I actually found that she was designed like this because they didn't want her to be like a threat to the mistress of the master. Now, her personality traits included being aggressive to anybody that wasn't her master or the mistress. She lives to serve the master, and she could be described as a female version of Uncle Tom. All right, let's get into my first primary source, which is a Negro minstrel named I Know a Gal That Loves a Coon, which was written by Harry Hunter. So right off the bat, we can see what's wrong with this. First of all, they're making fun of the slaves' dialect. You see Lubs, and throughout the whole song, it's gonna be the same way. And secondly, they're using the derogatory term "coon" in the title, which is used to describe lower class African Americans. Now let's get into the lyrics of the minstrel. I'm just gonna be looking at some specific lyrics. All right, so the first one that I want to look at is this one right here. It says, "And it's my habit, like the moon, to shine on that plantation." So that's making fun of them being on the plantation, being slaves. And then the second lyric I want to look at is down here. All right, I'm gonna start right here. The banjo will be tuning. Me and my gal that loves a coon will soon be honeymooning. But first, we'll shuck the master's corn. We shucked it before. We shucked it before. Or we shucked it both since we were born. Cooey, cooey. So I shouldn't have to explain what's wrong with that. All right. So before we get into my next source, I want to briefly go over Al Jolson. So Jolson is the poster boy for blackface films, and he stars in several blackface films, including my second primary source of Plantation Act. All right, so here's the source right here. Here's the cover of the movie. I'm gonna play about 30 seconds of the movie. It's a short film.
This morning, I'm feeling happy today. I'm gonna put my cares in a whistle, blow them all away. What if I've been unlucky? Really, I ain't got a thing. But there's a time I always feel happy. There's a
All right. So a Plantation Act stereotypes how African Americans look and act. So Jolson plays a character that has the common stereotypical physical traits of African American. So you notice the pitch black skin, the big lips, goofy dancing, torn clothes. So this short film, it showcases all of those. including Jolson performing Negro minstrels in the plantation setting. All right, let's compare both of my primary sources. In both sources, you see the recurring theme of African Americans being portrayed as inferior in some way to white people. So both sources satirizes working on the plantation, and it satirizes black people in general. Both sources were made for the amusement of white people. So why are these sources useful? So, along with the ongoing racism in everyday lives, let me remind you this is during the time where lynching was prevalent. These sources show how African Americans could have saw or heard the oppression that they faced through movie screens and radios. All right, so that'll be all for my presentation. These last two slides are just showing my citations, my two primary sources right here, and then my secondary sources.